G'day viewers, my name's Graham Stevenson and I'd like to invite you to come on a journey of creativity and learning and adventure through the series Colour in Your Life. There's an artist in every family throughout the world, and lots of times there's an artist deep down inside all of us as well. So grab your kids, your brothers, your sisters, your aunties, uncles and mums and dads and come and see how some of the best artists do what they do. G'day viewers and welcome to Colour in Your Life in New Zealand. Now the team and I have come over to New Zealand. We're going to be spending a couple of weeks here and we're circumnavigating the South Island of New Zealand to get some of the great artists of New Zealand onto the show. We're going to have a fantastic time and as you can see, look at this country. It's just amazing. So we're going to wake our way all the way around the bottom of the South Island and see some of these incredible people. So come along for the ride. It's going to be fantastic. Well, g'day viewers and welcome back to Colour in Your Life. We're in a town called Ashburton, which is at the south of Christchurch in New Zealand. And we're here today to spend the day with a lovely lady, Rachel Jemmett. Rachel?
Hi Graham, how are you?
Good, welcome to the show. Now, Rachel does some really wonderful pictures of the cityscapes across Christchurch, Ashburton, and you've got really such an iconic style, I just can't get over it. But there's a lot of joy. I mean, the best way I can describe it is there's a ton of joy and vibrancy in the work that you do.
Yes.
You've been doing it for a while now and obviously become quite well known in a lot of the galleries on the east coast of New Zealand. What drew you to this type of style?
I just really like colour, Graham, and I love colour and I love putting it together. I also, when I was younger, wanted to be an architect.
Sure.
So I think this is actually a way of me interpreting it coming through, and I actually think this is probably a better way for me.
But I mean, you've travelled really extensively in doing this as well. Now, your husband travels the world a great deal, doesn't he?
Yes, he does actually. He does travel quite a bit with his industry, so...
But you got the opportunity to go to Rome and to Paris and to New York and see all of these buildings and obviously take tons of photos as well.
I take a lot of photos everywhere I go. I usually come home with thousands of photos, to be perfectly honest. It almost gets a wee bit embarrassing.
You just got to be careful of those centurions in Rome as you go along.
Yes, exactly. Yes, Graham, as I told you before. You get caught out and you very much cost you.
Definitely. But what we're going to do today is we're going to do a scene, a street scene. And I think, honestly, I think your work is just it is fun. It really is fun work. We're going to do a street scene of Christchurch today.
Yes, we are.
And another thing I noticed about you as well is I asked Rachel before we started, I said, where's your palette? She says, I don't use a palette.
No, I don't use a palette, and I don't know, as I said to you, Graham, I don't know whether it's because I'm too stingy to waste paint. I'm not 100% sure. I paint straight from the tube. Onto the canvas.
I've never seen anybody do that before, so it's going to be an interesting exercise. But let's make a start. Where do we go from here with your picture?
Right, where I go from here is I do what I call a complete underwash of a really bright colour. It could be cadmium orange, or it could be cadmium yellow deep, or something like that, that will actually brighten up all the colours that I put on top. You will never see this underwash. It goes purely under there. Plus, not only that, it gives another layer to the canvas that actually, you're putting your paint on top, actually sort of, you're not using as much paint. It sounds a bit silly, but it works for me anyhow. So, all right,
well, let's see how it goes.
So I just have a bit of water sort of type thing, and it's also a good way for me to warm up into starting a painting as well. So I paint out the whole canvas, a complete colour, which is either yellow, orange or red. Okay. It just warms everything up underneath. So I squeeze the paint.
Straight out to the brush.
Yeah, straight onto the brush it goes, and then I just sort of spread and spread. It is fairly watered down. Yeah. But it's just to get all the edges covered, and I think as most artists know that this is quite porous as well, so this stops that sort of porous, but does have an aim of actually giving me a colour underneath that actually gives a lot more brightness to these paintings. You know, and in this time that I'm doing this, I actually think a lot about what I'm doing.
Yeah. When I first saw your work, that I looked at the work and thought, God, that's just so electric.
Yeah.
But then again, spending time with you and seeing your personality, I can understand why.
It just, yeah. If you know me well
There you
enough,
go.
yeah, I do.
You enjoy life.
I do like a good time. Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
I enjoy life too much. So
Yeah.
I sometimes wish I was actually mortal, but anyhow, I can't do that. So I'm a great believer in enjoy it while you're here. So just doing the underwash, it truly does brighten the colours up underneath. Sure. It really does.
Do you find those chroma paints help to cover the canvas quite well?
Yes, they do. Yeah, and because I paint in layers, because I paint in layers, they cover each, you know, the dark colours, especially the phthalos and stuff like that, the blues and the turquoises and everything that will go on top of this shortly. And this orange, I know now, will actually punch those colours out even more.
There you go.
And I think that's where I get the vividness from these colours. So I just sort of mix it and just let it do its thing and bleed. And it doesn't matter if it runs and all this, because you're truly not seeing this underneath. Yeah. So I'd just leave it like that, and I'd let that dry.
So that's dried off. Where do we go from there?
Right, so now I start with the sky. So with the sky, I use a magenta and an orange. And I'll start with the magenta from the top, and I'll just cover the top of the canvas specifically, wetting my brush quite often, purely to keep it, you know, keep the paint moist and to move it across, so I'm not wasting it and I'm getting it out nice and even.
Sure.
Right across the top there. And I look for all these really little streaky lines because I like them for depth. Then I use the orange that I'm going to actually blend up into the magenta. So I start down here. I haven't taken the magenta off my brush, and this is why I mix it all together. I leave it there.
Yep.
Because I want the two colours to blend in together, because they do blend in quite well.
Sure.
Now, just because I want this to be a bit lighter in the background, I'm actually going to add some cadmium yellow and some white. Okay. I specifically put the yellow on first because if I mix it the other way, it gets too pinky.
Sure.
And I want it to be more a sunset colour rather than not. Okay. I just want to blend that. This is where I like to think the magic starts a wee bit with these skies.
Sure.
As I've got that set there now, I'm going to come with my big pot of white and put a little bit on the end of my brush, tone it down, and this is where I know this is going to be covered, but this is where I sort of go, right, I still need more white. Okay. And I'm going to bring it back up into this colour.
So do you get a lot of skies like that around here? Really pinky skies, you do?
Yeah, we do. We especially first thing in the morning, they're really pink. And especially over the autumn, they're just an amazing fiery red, pink, you know, just that morning sky. So it's, yeah, I've been born and bred on a farm, and I've seen a lot of skies in the morning. First thing when you open the curtains at 6:30 in the morning, they just beam. It's really awesome.
That's great.
Yeah, so I end up with this real soft blend coming all the way through.
Wonderful.
So it's all done. So that's all done, and then the next thing we'll go on to is actually mapping out where I'm going to put the buildings, and once again I use a lot of white. Okay. A lot of white. Right, Graham, now I'm just going to white out all the buildings here in the background, and it'll take some time.
So what are you going to do with the buildings?
Well, we're actually going to fill them in now, so we're actually going to put some colour into them, and we're going to make them really stick out and make them look really good. So what I'll do is I use, to make the deep purple colour, I use the phthalo turquoise and a magenta. So I basically use a lot of magenta and I just mix it in like this, and then I sort of think, oh, I want it to be a bit darker. So I'll just let that come down a bit.
I mean, it really is, the canvas really is your palette.
Yeah, it is. Believe me, it is. And I think, yeah, maybe a lot of people sort of think, oh, how do you do that?
So the question is, where did this come from? This was just you, or?
Yes, it's just me. I haven't learnt it from anyone. I'm a self-taught artist. I have done courses for, you know, to learn different techniques.
Yeah.
Because I love courses on different techniques rather than, because I want to keep this style because I think it's quite unique.
Absolutely.
And I really do enjoy it, and I love these colours. They just give me real excitement. Yeah. Right, so I clean off my brush and then I move on to the side of the building, which I'm going to make from my cadmium orange. I like to put a bend in my buildings so they're not straight.
Sure. And that's at the top. I noticed a lot of them, they sort of bend out at the top.
Yeah, they do, because I think you've got more room and space at the top, right?
There you go.
So that's basically what
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah, perfect sense. But yeah, it just gives them some sort of grandeur as well, which is, buildings have quite a big presence in our everyday lives, and it wasn't till one day I stopped shopping and looked up and realised that we've got some beautiful buildings here in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Really have. And I didn't realise how beautiful Christchurch was until I did that. So you probably noticed it with the strokes. When I'm doing this, I'm actually playing with the paint and getting it as flat as possible so I don't get left with paint ridges and bumps and stuff. So yes.
Well, you've got a few of those to do. So what we might do is we might let you map in all those buildings as well.
Yes.
And then we'll come back again.
That'd be great, Graham.
Excellent.
Thanks.
Okay, Rachel, so we've blocked all of those in, so where do we go from here?
Right, now we put the footpaths and the roads in to, you know, give it some perspective. So I start from just mapping them in again, like I've done with everything else, and put the colour down. So it's like drawing with my paintbrush.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I'll come across to the side here to come up higher.
Yep. There's a lot of intuitiveness in your work.
Yes.
You just sort of go along and say, okay, well, I'll put the path in there, but that's a good part about it.
Yeah.
You're sort of, you're thinking about it, but you're sort of not, and you sort of go, oh, look, that's not quite right, I'll change that.
Yes, because I can always overpaint what I'm painting. If it's not right, I can go back, overpaint it, recorrect it. So this is just underpainting again.
Yep.
And then now I will put the road in. I'll just work it into the colour itself.
Yep.
The actual red paint, because I actually like the red to come through.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to change the perspective of this road now, because that's where it's going to go, knowing that I know my building corner comes down here.
Yep.
So I'll change it ever so slightly, and I'll put a bend into it because I like bends and everything.
But I mean, obviously that's creating depth in your picture as well.
Yeah, it does create the depth. Yeah. It creates the reality of it too, because these paintings probably look really fantasy orientated, but they're not. They're of actual real places.
I think a great thing to do would be to all the cities of the world, but like separately, but even in the picture that you've got behind you, you've taken a lot of the cities and the iconic buildings in each of those cities and stuck it into one painting.
Yes, I have. That's purely because the people that have got me to commission it have travelled a lot overseas and they really wanted a painting that actually identified with everywhere they've been, and it's something that they want for their memories and to be able to pass on to their children and later in life. And I've actually got a little bit to finish off before I give it to them, which is just a couple of things in the Eiffel Tower and the Twin Towers that need to be finished and completed. And then I just wanted to put a couple of wee flags in front of Parliament building basically. So yeah, so it's very proud of it. Right, Graham, I think we'll do some windows now.
Okay.
So I just sort of once again mapped them in.
Sort of Gothic windows.
Yes, this one is in particular, this church. And I always push my brush down, even though I'm using a square edge brush, I push it down at the end to give it that rounding for those windows.
Okay.
So I might start like this, but when I come back up, I actually sort of push it to give it that rounding at the top.
Okay.
Yeah, so it gives me a bit of a lead for next time in. Yeah.
Well, it looks like you've got a few windows to do.
Yes. I have got a lot of windows to do.
So I might just let you get on with those for a little while.
Yes, because I'm sure you don't want to sit here and watch me paint a couple of hundred windows.
We'll come back shortly.
Okay, Graham.
Okay, Rachel, well, you've finished your windows and it's really starting to take shape now. And obviously, as you said, as an artist, you work from back to front, so it's only my guess, but are we going to start on the cathedral then?
Yes,
Okay.
we are. So now this is probably the one and only time I actually do mix my white with my yellow to give the design that is around the church. So I'll add a lot of water to it so that I can actually get it to flow like an ink pen. That's where all the detail starts happening.
But it's still very straightforward. I mean, the thing about your work is that the colours are very true all the time. It's colour on colour all the way through.
Yes, it is, Graham, and I'm using just a very small amount of colour, but creating these other colours, and I do make it sort of light and dark by lightening and darkening the colours to give it that 3D effect that's design of that building's actually there. No lines are ever straight. They'll never be straight in my paintings. I think the wobblier they are, the better that they actually are. Now I do go back over these again to actually make the colour more intense and less opaque, so that you don't see the underpainting underneath. Okay.
Obviously, you do get a number of commissions for your work, which I think is just great. I mean, you know, artists struggle to sell their work at the best of times, but you've got commissions all over the place, which is just great. Yes,
no, I do, and I love commissions because I get to know the people that I'm actually painting for. I think that's quite important to be able to translate what they are wanting and what they are needing from me.
Yeah, and I think that'd be pretty cool that, you know, obviously all the cities that the show goes to, you know, if anybody wants a painting, really iconic Rachel Jemmett painting of their city, they could obviously contact you on your website.
Yes, Graham, it is racheljemmett.vc.net.nz, and that's how you can contact me.
Excellent. So once again, I've noticed that you've got two colours, two greens.
Yes,
on the one brush.
Yes.
So yeah, it's sort of, you can get the best of both worlds.
Yes, so I actually sort of, once again, sort of underpaint these going on. Then I will come back when I am painting another tree here in a minute. I'll come back and I will go over top of that again and make it lighter. So I have the darker colours and the lighter colours underneath. But it's intuitive again. I just know that I need more light green and I need more dark green when I need it. Okay, Graham, I've done all my white now basically, and I'm very happy with that. So next thing is probably look at doing trams.
So once again, I mean, you're using the white to block in the areas for you once again, and then you're going to come back over with the colour. I mean, I think the great part about that is it really gives you a depth. There's a lot of meat actually behind the paint itself from you doing that.
Yes, but yeah, by whiting it out, it actually makes that tram or anything else on here, it makes it sit and it has its own presence.
Sure.
Yeah, so it's really good.
Well, Rachel, I can see that you've really put a lot of the framework that you need to finish this picture off. And obviously you're putting the yellow tram in. I mean, it's looking busier and busier all the time. And I think that I really do like about your work is that there is so much going on in it. They're busy paintings, but they're just such great paintings to look at. They're a lot of fun to be in a room with. It's just amazing stuff. But because of the beauty of television, we're going to put up the finished piece that Rachel's actually done on this. As you can see, viewers, from where we've started to the magnificent picture you're looking at now on the screen. I just think it's extraordinarily happy painting. I mean, as you said, Christchurch suffering an earthquake, and here you are painting the colours of the rainbow all over the city. So I think it's pretty cool what you've done.
Thank you, Graham.
All right, guys, another fantastic day with an amazing artist, the last artist of this trip in New Zealand. Rachel.
Thank you, Graham. It's been awesome. I've loved it.
Thank you very much,
guys.
And we've had a great time here too. It's been really great. And just really love Rachel's style. It's just sort of so iconic to what she does. And as I said before, our show goes to many places these days. So if you're in a city that you would like Rachel to paint, I suggest you get in touch with her. What is your website address again?
Well, I'd love to hear from you all. It is racheljemmett.vc.net.nz. Thank you.
That's amazing. We're going to hopefully have some of your work on our website as well, in our shop and gallery. Always some great things going on there. Lots and lots of people in the website these days, so come in and say hi. Also our Facebook page at Colour New Life. Tons of people in there talking to each other, which is great. And the website is colournewlife.com.au. But we've had a fantastic trip to New Zealand this time. I think it's been just great. Beautiful country, amazing people. We've just been so happy to be here and be with you guys. But we're going to head off back to Australia. We will be back in October to film more of the Kiwi artists, and we'll be in the North Island in October. But until we meet again, as I always say from New Zealand this time, remember guys, make sure you put some colour in your life, and we'll see you next time. Bye now.
Bye. See ya.
Bye.
See you later.